GOP Senate leaders scrambling for a solution amid new allegations against Senate candidate Roy Moore. Mitch McConnell now reportedly pushing to oust him from the ballot, suggesting a potential replacement.
The name being most often discussed may not be available, but the Alabamian who would, fit that standard would be the Attorney General, who's totally well known and extremely popular in Alabama.
Wow, but can that really happen? Would it happen? And what would it mean for President Trump's cabinet? Here to break it all down, Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, is that plausible?
I'm chuckling because of the real musical chairs and because you and I are trying to be twins this morning again.
And Steve, right? It's blue suit. We all got the same swatch.
Wait, it's either blue or black for you guys? I mean, it's not. It's like 50-50. You're going to be twins.
Suit. All right, so he's talking about having Jeff Sessions.
Right, because the Attorney General, who held that Senate seat for 20 years, and was reelected to it overwhelmingly just 2 years ago, is very popular in Alabama. Could he be a write-in candidate? Well, he'd have to agree to that, and he's already said he doesn't want to do it. He enjoys being the Attorney General, notwithstanding all the agita that he has every day. And you know what agita is, right, Ainsley? And he doesn't want to run. So I don't see any way out of this. If Judge Moore is elected, the Senate must seat him, because the Supreme Court has said you can't add a qualification to a member of Congress that you be a good person or that you have never misbehaved. The only qualifications are age 30 or more, from the state from which you were elected and lawfully elected. If he's seated, they can't expel him because they can only expel people from Congress for what they've done while in Congress. And even if he did all this horrible stuff, which is becoming an avalanche this morning.
Two more yesterday.
Right. Even if he did do all that, it all happened long before he was in the Senate. So if he is elected, in my view, they'll be stuck with him.
Is this McConnell's way of saying, I don't want him to be AG anymore, I want him to go back to Alabama and we'll replace him?
Ainsley, I'm sorry to tell you, there are many Republicans and people in the president's administration that would prefer that Jeff Sessions not be AG. I like him. I know him. I say this with hesitation.
He hasn't done a good job.
He gives the impression of too much hesitation, of not wanting to prosecute, of not doing things that an attorney general is supposed to do, and he's placed the management of the Justice Department in the hands of others who are not exactly close to the president.
Judge, what did you make of the press conference yesterday that Roy Moore's attorneys had out on the steps, where they questioned the handwriting in that yearbook and also said, the accuser hadn't had any contact with the judge? That was not true because the judge apparently presided over a divorce.
I suppose for a 24 or 48-hour news cycle, it might help them a little bit. They were also confronted with a poll yesterday which showed Judge Moore 12 points behind Doug Jones. So that's almost unheard of in Alabama. But you can understand it in light of the bad news. Legally, I don't think the press conference is of any moment, but politically, I think they did it to push back.
And Governor Riley, a guy who was popular there for a while, what about somebody that's just so well known and looked at as popular in Alabama? Could he just hop on a stump, make a poster, and hand out a bumper sticker and say,
yes,
elect me?
Yes. If the voters write in, you ready for this, the correct first and the correct last name, then those votes will count, as long as that person is somebody that lives in Alabama. So if they were to do it with Jeff Sessions, his name's not Jeff, it's Jefferson. You're going to need 55,000 people to write in Jefferson Sessions and spell it correctly.
Well, stay tuned.
I don't think the write-in is going to succeed. I think either the Democrat will win or we will see this mini constitutional crisis when Moore shows up and asks to take
Judge, exit question real quickly. Do you think the President of the United States, Donald Trump, tells him whether or not to stay or go?
Yes, but I don't think he'll listen to him.
All right.